That's a question that he has a medical shop. Can he sell cough syrups containing alcohol, contraceptives? Brother, as far as the Quran mentioned no less than 4 different places. In Surah Baqarah, chapter number 2, verse number 173. In Surah Ma'idah, chapter number 5, verse number 3. In Surah Anam, chapter number 6, verse number 145. And Surah Nahl, chapter number 16, verse number 115. After mentioning the prohibited foods, it says that if under compulsion you have these prohibited fruits, then Allah is Rahman or Rahim. Means if your life is in danger and the only thing that can save you is a particular food, for example, if you are in the sea and you are in a boat where storm has come and you have no contact on land, and pork is the only thing available on that boat, on that ship. So for that time, though pork is prohibited, it becomes permitted for you, but the moment you come on the shore, it becomes prohibited. Similarly, if alcohol is the only drug that can save your life, then it becomes permitted. But I'm aware, being a medical doctor, that many of the drugs and the syrups, they do contain alcohol where it's not a necessity. Sometimes it's necessary, sometimes there can be substitutes. So what I would suggest, that since it's a medication, the onus lies on the person purchasing it. For example, you sell a knife, and you may be selling knife to cut vegetables. But if he uses for murder, so he's to blame, not you. What I can suggest, that you can give other alternatives of cough syrup which do not contain alcohol. And now research tells us that alcohol is not the best solvent. They use this as a media. So there can be other substitutes. So you as a Muslim, you can sell substitutes which do not contain alcohol. At the same time, I wouldn't say it is haram to sell, but if you promote the other drugs, it's preferable. As far as the contraception is concerned, again, if you hear my answer on family planning, I've given the reasons where in normal circumstances it should not be done, unless it's advised by a medical doctor that if the life is in danger, that if she undergoes, if she has one more pregnancy, if she has several cesarean sections, she has had multiple cesarean sections, 4, 5, 6. And if the gynecologists say that one more pregnancy is detrimental to her health and she can die, under these circumstances, as a last resort, family planning and contraception can be done. So if you are selling certain products, and if you know that the majority of the people purchasing are indulging in wrong things, I personally would prefer that if you don't indulge in these things. For example, it be copper tea or the other things. So these are mainly used for wrong activities. It again depends upon a taqwa. But if you know if someone uses it, these contraception, for a reason which is jaiz in Islam, which is permitted in Islam, then it's fine. But if you know that most of your customers are not using for this purpose, so as far as the temporary method is concerned, there is difference of opinion among the scholars, whether it's allowed or not allowed. As far as the permanent method, OC pills, all the scholars unanimously agree it is haram, unless it is used for medical reasons. So that depends upon each individual, where does he fall in. But if you feel it falls in the grey area, I in your position wouldn't have sold it. I being an individual person, I wouldn't have sold it. But I'm not giving a fatwa that it's haram to sell, that I have to ask a faqih. But as an individual person, if I was running a medical store, I would not have sold these things. Because I know that most of these are used by people for reasons which are not jaiz in Islam. So I as a person individually would not have sold. There's a difference in fatwa and a taqwa. The fatwa you can take from a faqih, it depends on individual taqwa. So I in your position wouldn't have sold these things. But that depends. I'm not giving a fatwa it's haram to sell, because I'm sure that in various reasons, Islam does give permission if it's detrimental to the health. But see, most of the customers that buy from you, they may not be following in this category. I personally would avoid it if I was in your position. You can take your own decision. Hope that answers the question.